Well, hello, everybody. I'm not going to regurgitate everything that's in the bio and that's available for you over there. So I would like all the trustees probably do a little homework and put a little effort into this and go study those deals before you make your decisions. Sid started out competing in rodeos, and he found out maybe that the rough stock and bullfighting wasn't good, and he got to announcing. He moved up through the high school ranks, the college ranks, and an amateur rodeo or two, and he joined the RCA as a rodeo announcer. And back then, when you was a member of professional rodeo, you couldn't announce or participate in any other event other than the college rodeos, probably. And along the way, he created a good auction business, him and Sid Stromme auction. Kind of the announcing went by the wayside. And all this time, he was a musician, and he played in bands and made some recordings in Nashville. He rubbed elbows with some pretty famous people like Johnny Gimbel, world champion fiddler, and different people. Little Jimmy Dickens was at his ranch a while. They had a beer or two, you know. Anyway, old Sid, he's so darn humble, you can't get anything out of him. And he's probably one of the most generous guys you can ever imagine. They talk about people that would give you a shirt off their back. Well, Sid would do that. And if he was down to his last dollar and he felt somebody needed it worse than he did, they'd get his dollar. And he's always willing to volunteer and help anybody. He helped a lot of rodeo contestants along the way, maybe a hamburger or a tank of gas or entry fees or a few bucks to get down the road. Anyway, Sid kind of won't tell you any of this, but he can tell you a lot of stories about roping at the Goldsberry Ranch. He was team roped all this time. He can tell you a good tale or two of going to the Goldsberry Ranch team roping. Maybe not the team roping, but the getting there and getting home. But anyway, it's a privilege to know Sid, and if anybody here that doesn't know him, I think you ought to just step up there and shake his hand. He'd be glad to meet you. And some of the songs he wrote and recorded, I think one of the best ones I like is It's Not the Years, but the Miles. And one of his later ones is Old Codgers. I like that one because I know who he's writing it about. And I guess I'm just going to, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to, what do they say at politics? I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, I love this category because I know him all so well. And Sid Stromme is everything Harry said, such a nice guy. I remember high school rodeo and him announcing, and he was just such a pleasure to be around. He always knew who you were. He was a great guy, and I love him to death. And as far as the whole Meyer family, they were so a big part of my growing up rodeoing with the figure four. I think the world of their dad, Daryl. He's just the most awesome guy in the whole world, and that's why his boys are like that. But you know, Lynn and Dean and Gail, Gary, they're just all a great family. And Dean is probably I'd say the comedian of the whole bunch, but he was a great cowboy. I watched him do a lot of stuff with them bucking horses and bulls, and one of my favorite pictures riding bulls in Medora. He's back there flanking, and I always tell everybody that's Dean Meyer. So, Dean, I'm proud of both of you guys. I think you should both be in. I think we should just call it a draw today and put them both in.